A decision that Milwaukee's mayor says will be debated probably for years. A former officer now facing criminal charges in the fatal shooting of Seville Smith in Sherman Park, a shooting that touched off days of unrest this past summer. The CBS 58 News at 10 starts right now.
This is the CBS 58 News at 10.
Ooh, first it was the bitter cold. Now we're preparing for snow, and let me tell you, there's going to be a lot of it.
Yeah, most of southeastern Wisconsin will be under a winter storm warning in just hours. Chief Meteorologist Drew Burgoyne is here. Drew, some snow for the morning commute as well?
Yeah, a little light snow. That shouldn't cause a problem, but the evening commute tomorrow is going to be an issue with accumulating snowfall. So remember, yesterday we had that winter storm watch. It's all been upgraded. It starts 2 o'clock tomorrow, lasts all the way through at 9 o'clock on Saturday. And not only just across our area, but we're talking about the entire state. So you've got for Sunday morning. So overall, that timing, we're talking about tomorrow evening and on throughout your day. Saturday, here's the concern: between 7 and 12 inches of snow causing issues. We'll get a little bit more specific on those totals for you and talk about that next surge of Arctic air on Sunday. It's all coming up in your CBS 58 Ready Weather.
Taking a live look out on the roads at this hour, the Milwaukee Department of Public Works just called our newsroom, telling us 102 salt trucks will be out on the roads starting at midnight. They will be salting the main roads for the morning commute. And make sure you download the CBS 58 Ready Weather app. You can watch live radar and see where the snow is at any time. Plus, send in pictures right from the app. It's free for Apple and Android users.
Developing tonight, a former Milwaukee police officer due in court on reckless homicide charges.
The DA says Dominique Hagan-Brown shot Seville Smith when Smith was on the ground and no longer armed. And it was that second shot to the chest that killed him. CBS 58.7 Krugel spoke with Smith's family tonight, but we begin our team coverage with Kristen Barbarisi and the new details revealed in court documents. Kristen?
Michelle, Dominique Hagan-Brown fired 2 shots in 2 seconds. The first while Seville Smith was armed, but the second after Smith threw away his gun.
Body camera video shows then Officer Dominique Hagan-Brown shoots Seville Smith in the right bicep as Smith turns toward the officers, raises the gun, and throws it over a fence. Then Hagan-Brown moves closer to Smith and fires a second shot, hitting Smith in the chest. Smith was unarmed and had his hands near his head. Hagan-Brown told investigators he thought Smith was reaching for his waist and possibly a second gun. But the video shows something else. Smith demonstrably reaches for his waistband after being shot the second time. Mayor Tom Barrett, who has not watched the video, says you can make the case the first shot was justified, but not the second.
As you all know, there were only 2 shots that were fired, but clearly one of them was a fatal shot, and that was the one that he has been charged with. That would be the second shot.
It took less than 2 seconds to fire those 2 shots. Chief Flynn doesn't disagree with the charges, but wants to see more evidence. He's worried how other officers will be judged when put in the same situation.
I mean, the fact is, if you're in a combat situation facing an armed offender, 1.69 seconds is less than 2 full heartbeats.
The body camera video is still considered evidence and has not been released. Hagan-Brown is expected to make his first court appearance on these charges tomorrow afternoon.
The head of the Police Association tells us tonight he's worried that because of these charges, his officers will hesitate in split-second decisions.
If our officers will not have the opportunity to protect themselves in a situation that's a life-threatening and deadly force situation, how will they protect the community?
The family of Seville Smith says this just doesn't affect them.
The family called the details in that criminal complaint gruesome and say it proves one thing: Seville should not have been killed. On the night his brother was killed by police, Sudan Smith offered a powerful statement.
They can no longer depend on the police to be here to protect us like they say they're going to do.
Tonight, a different emotion: relief.
There's no longer a question of whether Seville was right or wrong. You know, we have the answer now.
Sudan says he does not want to see the body camera video described in the complaint because he doesn't want to see his brother die. But he does want the public to see it.
They need to see the gruesome act that this officer did to my brother.
Hagan-Brown is the first Wisconsin police officer to be charged in an officer-involved shooting death in 50 years, and the first since the Division of Criminal Investigation started taking the lead in such cases. According to figures by the Justice Department, around 1,000 people are shot by law enforcement each year. An associate professor at Bowling Green State University analyzed that data and found that 77 officers have been charged with murder or manslaughter since 2005. 26 were convicted, 28 were not, 23 still have cases pending. Stay with CBS 58 for continuing coverage of the charges. We'll be in court when Hagan Brown makes his first appearance on the reckless homicide charges tomorrow. Plus, go to CBS58.com. You can watch the full news conferences from today, as well as our coverage since the shooting in August, including the first 2 nights of the unrest and how the Sherman Park community came together to clean up.
The family of an inmate who died behind bars in Milwaukee is suing for $5 million. The wrongful death suit just filed, and only CBS 58 has the details. CBS 58's April Dvorny is here now with the exclusive update. April.
Christina Febrink died this August after spending just 4 days in the county jail. She was a known drug user, and her family's attorney says there's no way she should have died in jail.
Attorney Jason Jankowski says jail officials should have known. Christina Febrink even arrived at jail high.
At intake is when she was placed on the withdrawal monitoring. So in order to be placed on that, somebody must have shown signs that they were high.
He says that should have meant a doctor's visit within 3 days.
Which would have revealed her drug abuse and would have allowed them to take the necessary steps, such as putting her on a heightened level of monitoring.
Now, Jankowski told us he filed an open records request with the sheriff's office on December 2nd and is still waiting to hear back.
Inmate Shade Swayze is also suing the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office. Her infant died after she gave birth inside her jail cell. Swayze claims she went into labor back in July, and when she tried to alert the guards, she was, quote, laughed at. This latest lawsuit comes as the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors votes for an outside investigation into jail deaths. The supervisors are creating a new policy for investigating all in-custody deaths.
Tonight, family, friends, parishioners remembering a well-known pastor in Racine. Mark Gates was killed yesterday when officials say a man was texting behind the wheel and slammed into him. Gates also worked for the city. He was collecting recyclables when police say that driver hit Gates's parked garbage truck.
Anything that he could do for the community here in this area, as a matter of fact, all over Racine.
He was just a wonderful man.
20-year-old Benjamin Bell charged with homicide by negligent operation of a vehicle.
Milwaukee police say a woman confessed to killing her half-brother with a broken vodka bottle during a drunken argument. 31-year-old Aquino Boyd is charged with second-degree reckless homicide for last Saturday's stabbing of Anthony Sanders, who only recently moved to 35th and Villard after being homeless, a journey chronicled by CBS 58 News. The criminal complaint says Boyd became enraged when Sanders told her to get out. In Brookfield, police are asking for your help to find the people who smashed windows and stole phones at the U.S. Cellular store in Greenfield and Moreland.
More legal trouble for a former Packer player. The disturbing new allegations facing Santana Dotson. Serious allegations tonight against a former Green Bay Packer.
Yeah, a Mukwonago woman claims Santana Dotson threatened to hurt and maybe even kill her. CBS 58's Marshana Hester now with the new details. Marshana?
Well, Bill and Michelle, these court documents right here filed today reveal the relationship between the two and why the woman feared for her life, forcing her to take legal action again.
At the Waukesha County Courthouse, Kristen Magdalene filed paperwork for a temporary restraining order against Santana Dotson. It's her second case in less than a week against the former Packers defensive tackle.
So your name goes here and then.
The first, filed Friday, claims Dotson owes the woman $290,000 that he borrowed back in 2014. It also accuses him of using her credit card without permission. Earlier this week, an attorney not related to the case called the complaint really vague.
It doesn't go into any great detail about the relationship between the plaintiff and, in this case, the defendants.
But the restraining order petition does. Magdalene states Dotson is her ex-boyfriend. She says a mutual friend overheard him making threats against her because of the lawsuit, saying she should be afraid to look out her blinds and that he may have to go Houston style on her.
Thank you. For the second time this year, a person from Milwaukee listed on the FBI's most wanted list. Terry Strickland, accused of killing 2 men after shooting at a group of men following an argument. This all happened July 17th near 26th Street in Keefe.
Terry Strickland is now the 512th fugitive to be added to the FBI's top 10 list. He is the second fugitive from Milwaukee to be added in the past 6 months, which speaks to our concern over violent crime in the area.
Earlier this year, Shanika Minor put on the list for shooting and killing Tamika Perry, her pregnant neighbor. Minor was caught in North Carolina. Her jury trial set to begin in February.
Barbershop robbery in Grafton. One customer was hit by a gun. The Milwaukee police sergeant, who was arrested for drunk driving with a child in the car, gets a promotion. Sergeant John Corbett's arrest back in 2010 was recorded on dash cam video. Officers say his 13-year-old daughter was behind the wheel and that they switched places right before being pulled over. Tonight, the Fire and Police Commission approved his promotion to lieutenant.
There's still time to help make sure kids have a toy under the tree this Christmas. CBS 58 once again teaming up with the Salvation Army and Steinhoffels for the Toy Shop. You can donate new unwrapped toys at any Steinhoffels location.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Drew Burgoyne is back now with the very latest from the Ready Weather Center.
So this time tomorrow night, looks like the area is going to be pretty hammered with heavy snowfall. It's going to forecast for tonight. We'll see single-digit temperatures early, but then by morning, temperatures will bounce around right around 10 degrees. So we'll actually warm overnight tonight. Some spotty light snow showers are going to be possible. We still have a lot of dry air overhead, so that shouldn't cause any issues for tomorrow morning. A bit of a different story by the afternoon and evening for your Friday. High right around 25 degrees, but with more snow arriving throughout the day. So it looks like the highest totals from Fond du Lac to Sheboygan, close to a foot there. And from Port Washington, Milwaukee, especially late Friday into Saturday. So if you're going north, they're expecting some snowfall as well. We're looking at slow conditions, 94 Milwaukee to Madison on Saturday. The morning low on Monday, 7 below. High temperature at 16, but look at that. We've got a string of 30s. Kind of a heat wave throughout the middle of the week. And then Christmas time, well, chance for a little mix at 38.
At home, CBS 58's Eric Levy live along I-94 with the best strategies to weather the storm. Eric.
Yeah, Michelle and Bill, preparing for wintry travel all begins with a cell phone.
This is a really dangerous time of the year.
If you're driving and your car breaks down, or worse, you slide off a snowy road, going to walk for help could increase your chances of frostbite or hypothermia. Have your phone charged and call for help.
And every hour, run it for about 10 minutes. Then turn it back off again.
In your car, have a blanket, food, and water. A shovel, too, in case you get stuck. Now, we know
It can happen a little as 5 minutes of these kind of temperatures and wind chills. You can start having some effects of frostbite.
Signs to look for include tingling in your fingers, numbness, pain, and discoloration.
And if you need some gift wrapping help, a local police department is willing to lend a hand. The Mequon Police Department is hosting its first ever holiday gift wrap fundraiser this Saturday.
One of my hidden superpowers is gift wrapping, and lately I've been underutilized. So I thought, how can I use this for some good this year?
Looking for a gift for the Packers fan in your life? Tickets for a possible wild card or divisional playoff game go on sale tomorrow morning.
Now, CBS 58 Sports Zone with Scott Grodzki.
Marquette's Dwayne Wade comes back to the Bradley Center wearing a Bulls uniform for the first time in his career as the Bucks host the Bulls. Milwaukee wants to set the right tone for their 4-game series, and Chicago native Jabari Parker, he's going to deliver. Just look at this monster dunk in the first half as the Bucks don't look back, winning 108-97. Earl Arms is live at the Bradley Center where the Bucks started the game by honoring Craig Sager.
Scott, it was a big night here at the Bradley Center, a nationally televised game for the Bucks and Bulls. And of course it was big because the team's honoring the memory of Craig Sager. You can see this shirt that I'm wearing says Sager Strong, but also with the loud design that Sager was known for. But the legendary broadcaster losing his battle with leukemia today at the age of 65. But once the warm-ups came off and the Bucks got to playing ball, they certainly played ball.
It was a must-win game and we needed to win. And I think everybody did a great job, keeping the lead. We had a good run there in the fourth quarter to try to push it, but we're gonna have to play better defensively tomorrow against this team and not see the ball go to the basket. So we got to face their length. They're a very long team to make it hard for you in half court.
Thanks, Earl, and let's move on to the other Wisconsin-Chicago rivalry. The Packers can even up the all-time series against the Bears with a win Sunday. That would be the first time it's tied since 1933. Players like Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, they have years of experience in this game. But rookie Dean Lowry, he comes at it from a different perspective. Growing up near the state border in Rockford, Illinois, Lowry was practically raised by the rivalry.
I have a lot of respect for the rivalry between the Bears and the Packers, and to now be a part of this game and to play for the Packers, it's a pretty cool opportunity. So, I have a lot of family and friends there this Sunday. It'll be pretty cool to play for them.
And the Brewers have signed former Oakland infielder Eric Sogard.
Bottom line, looks like most of the area picking up 7 to 12 inches of snow and very cold on Sunday.
We will be tracking that weather through the night. Join us for the morning show from 4:30 to 7 a.m. Stephen Colbert is next.